I'm Stella. My ID number is 183927, and I hope I can find my partner tonight. I'm Marie Dayan. My ID number is 133444. I would like to invite you guys to come in Cebu and meet me. Thank you.
Hey guys, how are you? Good evening. My name is Bud. I'm here with Rana. You're probably expecting Rana. She is the hostess of our twice monthly Wednesday night live webcast for all of you smart guys who have your eye on the Philippines, because she's the perfect example of why you would go to the Philippines to meet an incredibly lovely, sincere girl that you can fall in love with and spend your life with. And I've seen, Rana around the office a few times. What I just absolutely adore about you and your friends from the Philippines who work in our office, you guys are always smiling. What is up with that? Do you ever have a bad day?
Yeah,
you ever yell at Rob like I do
we
sometimes?
Just hide it in our
Really?
back.
Spectacular. Seriously, but I just love the way that they're around, because they are literally always smiling. We work with Marlon and Bonnie, and they're never in a bad mood, never, which is incredible. But anyway, the women of the Philippines, we love them. We love to go to the Philippines. We love our staff in the Philippines, and I know you guys are watching, so a shout out to you guys. And this is Rana's show. So to just state the obvious, I'm kind of the sideshow here. Rana's the main attraction. There's a green box above us that you can click to send your questions to us. If you guys have already done that, we'll read your question aloud. so that you'll get a moment of fame. And know that we read your question, and we'll answer it for everybody who's watching, right? So when you guys step up and you ask a question, we'll answer it for everybody, okay? This is a very distracting video, I can see already. So the video we're watching is from some recent social events in the Philippines. I honestly, just looking at the video, I can't tell if we're looking at Davao or Cebu, but
Cebu.
this is Cebu, okay, cool. So you guys direct your questions to Rana. This is one of those great, rare live webcast events where you can just ask and get the opinion of a woman who's done it, right? Who's been through the journey. I'll ask, Rana a few questions just to get us started, and then we'll read some of yours. I was thinking before we got started, we've been doing these live webcasts for a while. Kirk, who's behind the scenes, who's amazing, the man behind the scenes, who we absolutely love. Because he made all of this possible for us, came along a few years ago, but up until that point, I used to be here on Monday night with Rob and Bill, and before we would get started, Rob was always worried about my head being too shiny for the webcast, so he would literally apply, this is how Rob got started, you understand, he was a cosmetologist, just applying makeup to my head. I think we even have a few pictures of that somewhere that I hope are sufficiently buried, but he's come a long way since then, so he does a lot more now. But anyway, so we have another tour that's coming up in August to Cebu and then October to Davao, guys. And considering it's almost the end of May, which is crazy, we know that's right around the corner, right? So start planning, you guys. I tell guys all the time, when you look at these videos, you could very easily be in this video in a couple of months because we bring a lot of women to the socials, right? How many women come to a social in Cebu?
Like 100 per night. So that's mostly it's Friday and Saturday is social. So 100 for Friday and Saturday. So
excellent. So if we're taking 20 guys on our tour and we have 100 women at the social, women in Cebu, women in Davao, you Filipino girls are pretty friendly. You're very easy to approach and talk to, right? It's hard sometimes in our culture. It's fun to be approached.
It's fun. I've been to socials twice, and it's really fun. And so guys, thousands of Filipino women are waiting for you. You just have to be there, take courage, and get in or sign up in one of our tours in Philippines. We would love to have you.
There was just a moment before the webcast when she was looking at Rob, who's off camera, and asked him to send her a kiss for good luck, and he blew her a kiss, and it was really cute. I just adore you couples that work for us. All right, so we're getting some questions in, guys. Let's get through a few of these for you. There's a green box right above us. You click the green box. This time is dedicated toward giving you guys, some of you are watching for the first time. We do this to answer questions about who are the girls from the Philippines, why are they here, what are they really looking for, what we've heard about them, what's true, what's not. And Rana's the expert. She's going to answer your questions. So you can just go ahead and click the green box. We've got plenty of time. We'll answer as many of them as we can. Davao's bigger than Cebu. Davao is,
yes,
right?
Davao is bigger, through landscape, but Cebu is more populated, and more civilized.
You know what I've always wanted to ask a girl from the Philippines? I've asked men who have dated girls from the Philippines, but I've never asked a girl from the Philippines, what do you guys like to do on a date? So a guy shows up in Cebu and he meets you, or Robert, whoever, or a girl like you, and says, I completely don't care what we do. What do you want to do on a date? What are some of the things girls like to do on dates?
For a first date, it will there be a place where there's nature and a lot of people, since we are quite sensitive, and since it's like a first meet something. And of course, we want to safety ourselves because we're small, and then foreigners have a big feature. So we would love to have a date, a lunch date, dinner date with the. It's not expensive place. We would love to have like Jollibee, as long as like the connection, the talking, like that. Each other.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not.
Jollibee sounds familiar. What do they serve at Jollibee?
A burger, French fries. Yeah, it's
really?
a fast food chain, but it's really.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cheap, but it's the talking and the connection that matters. Yeah.
So somewhere out around other people. Just a simple restaurant, having something to eat while you're
not
talking.
too expensive. You don't have to pay a lot of money just to have a date with
Do you like the guy to kind of lead in the date? Do you like the guy to ask a lot of the questions? If a guy's a little shy, some guys are. If he's a little bit shy, do most Filipino women feel comfortable picking up the conversation and doing more of the talking in the beginning? Or would you prefer the guy have his act together and be able to ask those questions?
We prefer the guy who takes the lead. Yeah. But for the shy guys, we blend. The good thing about Filipina is good in blending with the situation. So when we see that they're a shy guy, then we will have more courage to talk to you, open up a topic or something.
How about it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why just to not to kill the moment or not to kill time or like that.
You girls are super friendly. You speak English. It's such a huge advantage. So you see this girl on the screen right now whose profile begins with a 1-3. Some of you guys know this or don't know it, but when you put a 20 in front of the girl's profile number at loveme.com, that will tell you the year that her profile was put on our site, right? So she joined our site around 2013. Do we still see girls at the socials whose profiles begin with a 1-3 or a 1-4? Do you know?
I don't know.
I think a lot of girls are hanging around for a long time.
Yeah, because I've been in the social. I've been in the company AFA for 3 years. So, and I have also knew that my aunt was also a member of AFA before.
She went under at the social.
Yeah,
Like, what are you doing here?
it's like, are you a member? Oh, is that the office near like this, like that? Oh yeah. So you're a member before you get married. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. But it's just that they haven't got a chance to meet a client or an AFA, a foreigner
Small
in
world,
AFA. Yeah.
right? But you were with the agency for 3 years
Yeah.
before you met Rob, right?
I still have my two cousins who's also a member. I brought them to be a member, and they're still single.
Oh, all
yeah,
right.
I'm waiting.
We got to get to work, guys.
Thousands.
August is coming. If they're anything like you, Rana, these guys definitely want to meet them. So, all right, guys, we're going to do some questions. So just so you know, guys, on Monday night, we obviously talk a lot about Ukraine and such. This is a Philippine-focused evening, so we'll save your questions for Ukraine for another time. Whatever you got on the Philippines, let's talk about it because the expert is with us. So, man, Rana's getting like 800 of you guys are sitting here watching Rana. That's huge.
Thank you.
I mean, on Monday, I get a very respectable 200 watching, but Rana's got like 4 times that much. Can't imagine why. By the way, I'm not that much bigger than she is. That's just a camera trick. It's just a camera trick.
Yeah,
Trust me.
see?
I am not.
I'm a big one.
I feel like Vince Wilfork up here. All right. Mighty fine nose tackle. All right, anyway, let's see. The whole nation of beautiful potential wives, says Big Truck. Sly, how are you, buddy? What is the average height of Filipino women? Would you say your height is average, above average, below average?
Yeah, my average is my height is average 5. So I'm 5'1". There's 4'8". So like you hardly can see 6-footer in Philippines.
Yeah.
So
would really stand out, huh?
good. And it's an advantage because it's like we will look cute, we look young in our age.
Almost too young to tell you the truth. I'm a little uncomfortable up here all of a sudden. But anyway, so how about tall men? Sometimes tall men come to the Philippines. Do Filipino women mind meeting men who are tall?
That's why we like that. We love having like tall people around us. It looks it's like give us a better look of being cute or something.
I love that. That's great. Girls feel more cute around a tall guy.
Yeah,
tall guys.
Of course.
You're on alert. You're on alert, tall guys. Yeah, all right. Chris, glad you're enjoying the video. Says there are a lot of beautiful women watching. So several times mentioned, says David, that Philippines dream of a white-skinned husband to make perfect caramel babies.
Yes.
A medium light brown, darker with tan. Do I stand a chance in Cebu or Davao? And you know, there are some certainly African American gentlemen who probably wonder if the women of the Philippines would be interested in them as well. What are your thoughts on that?
Yep. We thought about like one of the reason why American is the white. They caught us a lot of attention when you're white skin because we have a darker skin. And then we would love to have cuter babies, but it's not about. It's just an appearance. It's not about the appearance that we're looking for. Since in AFA we would love to have a long-term relationship and a future husband. So it doesn't matter about the appearance. It matters in your heart. What's within, like that.
So don't overthink it.
Yeah, don't
Just
overthink
go.
about physical experience.
Gentlemen who
Present
are
yourself. Show
Latina
yourself.
gentlemen or Latino gentlemen, for example, or gentlemen of color, they should go to the Philippines, not worry about all of that.
Not worry about that.
Yeah. So it's interesting, Rana. Sometimes the fact that a man and a woman are from different countries makes them almost more attractive to each other than if they met somebody from their country. I've heard people say that women in the Philippines find foreign men to be attractive because we just look so different. There are very good-looking men in the Philippines, of course, but is that true? Is it kind of like there's some kind of additional attraction because he's from somewhere? So what about men from Europe, for example, or men from, I don't know, maybe
from
Latin
Australia,
American,
from Germany, from Canada.
All the same, pretty much the
Yes,
same level of
it's all
attraction?
the same because we love to have adventure in our lifestyle. We have this romance thing in Filipinas. We would love to explore and learn about your culture, learn from where you are, where you've been, what you've been, like what you've been through to your country. And experience and love to experience what you've experienced. You're like explorer, yeah.
How about men with a dome? Is that going to go real well in the Philippines?
Oh, it's good. It's still good. Yeah,
right.
everything.
It's not hopeless yet. Okay, let's see. Guys, thanks for your questions. Keep them coming, all right? Bob says he has a few questions for Ms. Giggles. I think that's you. Who should make the first move, the man or the woman, and why?
Yeah. First move should be the man, of course. So ladies in the Philippines are sensitive and are also we have this shy culture, and then we would love to, of course, but Bob, you should at least show or tell her, give her a hint. I mean, of what you have to do or like that, because of course we will be shocked or something like that. So,
so it's good for the guy to make the first move. Shy guy's got to at least let you know they're interested, right? When you get the idea that he definitely likes you, is it easier for Filipino women then to kind of take ownership of their guy and maybe make the next move, so to speak? As long as you know the guy likes you, is it easier for you to?
Yes, it's easier. That's why we want, because we're just waiting to, and we're shy to make the first move because we're a woman. Yeah, and it's also on our culture that the woman should not be the first one to move. Yeah, so should be the first one. You just have to have courage and show what the feeling you are, so that if you do the first move, then we will have to go with the flow.
Nice.
Yeah, especially when you have your click together. Yeah.
Nice. Nice, guys, right? It's hard sometimes in our culture because we know that very attractive women in our culture have a lot of options, as they should, and sometimes it's just a necessity that they can't talk to everybody. So sometimes, women just become a little bit standoffish in American culture, and then guys will go to the Philippines, they'll see a video like this, and they'll see these beautiful women, and they'll just wonder, man, in America it would be hard for me to just walk up and say, hi, how are you? You're very attractive. But apparently it's not so hard in the Philippines to do that, huh? So there you go, guys.
We would love to. We will appreciate that.
Nice. Nice. So no being shy, guys. It's not allowed. Get over it. Great question, Bob. Thanks for that. Martin says, are Central Americans required to get a visa for the Philippines, meaning gentlemen from Costa Rica or Panama or countries like that in Central America? I don't know. Do you happen to know that? I don't know,
No,
guys.
I think
You'll probably find it out fairly
Philippines
quickly.
are open country. So,
well, one way to find that out, my friend, is the country you're from. Just go to Wikipedia and just do a quick search. Countries Costa Rica needs a visa for, whatever. It'll come up in Wikipedia and probably a few other sites and tell you the countries that citizens of, whatever your citizenship is, where you need to go to have a visa, and we'll find that out for you, or you'll find that out very, very quickly. Diamond says that Filipino women are receptive to black men. Honestly, he's asking, but it sounds like that's not really a problem. You see gentlemen, African-American gentlemen at the social sometimes,
yes,
right?
I saw.
Any struggle for those guys to meet women?
No, they even girls or even wanted to get your attention. So you just have to select the best of the girls. Yeah, it's like when I met Rob. That's why I have this urge to get his attention, so I call him Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
Yeah, my Robin Hood, who stole my heart.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's too funny, seriously. Robert, I think we know the secret's out now. Everyone's going to call you Robin Hood from now on, so that is too funny. So Greg is a good, interesting question. So Greg says, Bud mentioned on Monday night that Ukrainian women, for example, like gifts of name brand cosmetics. Would women from the Philippines like to get, I just want to read his question exactly as I saw it, Greg. Would women like to get a tube of lipstick on a first date as a gift? All right, so to clarify my question, somebody asked, what do women in Ukraine like to receive as gifts? I mentioned that in Ukraine, getting Maybelline, Revlon, brand name cosmetics, they're often counterfeit. And women like cosmetics in Ukraine. So I told guys, just grab 4 or 5 nice, not obnoxious colors, but nice smooth color lipsticks, put them in a gift bag. It's a nice gift to give somebody. I would never give somebody 1 tube of lipstick, but if you're just as an example, I think the question is, do women in the Philippines like cosmetics as much as maybe women from America or women from Ukraine? Or can you think of other gifts on a first or second date that are appropriate, like chocolate or
appropriate
whatever?
would be a flower. Flower is very touching and sensible to Filipinas, so it will really catch her attention. And then chocolates. A lipstick would be like probably like the the 4th or 6th date, like that. But the teddy bears, we love cuddling because Filipinos love cuddling. So teddy bear, you will be remembered for a long time.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Do you like the big, gigantic teddy bears? Right?
Yeah,
So,
the girls would love that.
so if a guy brings like a giant teddy bear and gives it to you in front of everybody, you're going to be embarrassed, or you're going to think that's really cool?
It will really be cool because it catch a lot of attention too. But you have to carry it yourself, because if the woman were gonna carry it, then she'll be like,
Can't give her the big teddy bear and make her carry it around, right? So that's interesting, honestly. I know that sometimes in a culture, if you give a gift to somebody, in Ukraine, for example, if you give somebody a gift in front of a lot of people, in China, for example, and women don't necessarily like to receive gifts the first time you offer it to them, and they're a little bit embarrassed to receive gifts in front of a crowd. But it sounds like in the Philippines, girls are like, that's great to have the attention on you. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
How cool is that, guys, right? Flowers, chocolate, and teddy bears, that's pretty easy, honestly, right? You guys can't screw that up, right?
It's not that expensive.
Cosmetics later on, something like that, right?
Clothing,
for example?
Clothing, no.
Don't do it, huh? Don't let the guy, don't even try.
Or let's just, if you want to give a clothing, then you can have a time to date together and shopping a little. You just because it's very personal when it's like the clothing and the lipstick and the cosmetics.
Right.
So
And it's a matter of taste as well, right? So, yeah, okay, cool. I like it. I think those two got married, if I'm not mistaken. The guy and the girl in the black.
That 2 girls is the staff. One of the the staff from Cebu.
Staff from Cebu.
Yeah, and
cool.
that's 2 guys. The man is the. I think they're married.
I think they did, right?
Yeah, I remember her. They're married for a long time. See, there's an
good-looking African-American looking
Yes.
gentleman there. Right on. Cool. That's a great answer to those questions, so thanks for that. So, John says the water is cold out there watching the video. Great. Oh, is the water cold out there? Is the water cold? Yeah, you mean the ocean, possibly the beaches? Is the beach, like swimming in the beach near Davao or Cebu, is the water warm most of the time? Is it really cold? Is it?
It's mostly warm because Philippines has humid. And then it's really hot. But when you get to the water, sometimes it's cold, but sometimes it's warm. But mostly it blends the heat of the sun. Yeah, so it's really cool to.
Do girls like to go to the beach, just kind of hang out at the beach or the resort for a little while?
Beach I would love to go to the beach, women's too.
Nice. I grew up in America, obviously, near the beach in the Northeast. It was very beautiful. And when I was there, I was so bored because I saw it every day.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't wait to leave. And now I'd do anything to go back. It was really quite nice. But all right, let's see.
The beach.
The beach is a good date too. So, all right. Dan says, Rona and Bud, I'm interested in marrying a Filipino who already has a child, just as Rob did. Please tell us how your daughter has adjusted to living in the U.S. and having Robin Hood for a father, a very famous father. Yeah, right on. Cool. Thank you, Dan. Good question. What do you think, Rona? How old is your daughter, by the way?
My daughter is 6 years old. Yeah, she came here when she was 4. She really adjusted a lot because when I was in the Philippines, since I already wanted to have a foreigner, so I taught her our vernacular language and also English speaking. So when she came here, she's already in the Philippines, when she met Rob, she already knows the language and loved to have a daddy. And also, when she came around here, she quite missed my family, because she grew up with my cousins, and we have a big family. And when we came here, it's just the 4 of us: Karina, me, and Rob. So it's quite a little. She needs more time to adjust. And that, but now she's really great. She's like acting like a big sister to our Karina, and she's doing great here at school.
Nice.
She just graduated today.
Yeah.
And she loved it. Yeah.
She graduated from preschool, from first grade?
Kindergarten.
From kindergarten.
Yeah, kindergarten.
What a momentous occasion.
I'm a proud mama.
The first of many graduations. That's so cool. Karina is your daughter's name?
Yes,
That's such
Karina.
a great name. That's beautiful. How cool is that?
Yui is my daughter's name. Saint Lou is my daughter's name. Karina is our Rob and I.
Yes.
Like stepdaughter,
Yes.
but I call her.
Got it. That's awesome. You know, there are guys that are out there. I see them all the time. Bill, for example, I knew Bill when he had nobody. I mean, he's just a quiet guy working here, and then he meets Bonnie, and 5 years later, 3 kids just like that. He's got a beautiful family. They're like Mama Duck and the 3 ducks going everywhere, and it's gorgeous.
That's cool. Yeah,
and so there are a lot of women in the Philippines who have children, and this is a little bit personal, so I don't. But I think it's interesting for guys to talk about that. How are there so many girls in the Philippines who have children already, and what is the likelihood that they'll be able to get married once they become single moms in the Philippines? Is that
the likelihood?
Yeah. What is the likelihood that they'll find a husband in the Philippines if they're single moms?
It's really hard, because most of the Filipino, when they have a kid, and they've broken up with their previous relationship, it's like we're afraid already. We're afraid to get another one, because what will be the stability of the family. So we'd rather work on our own, and just as being single mom, focused on spending time and for the kid. That's what we do. It's not that we're looking for a father. That's why we also wanted to have most of the single women love to have an American or foreigner as a father, or as a long-term relationship for good, for a long time, and for forever. Yeah. Because it gives us the courage, it gives us the stability in life, and what we only have to do is being a great mom,
right.
a great wife to your husband.
Yeah.
You don't have to have problems and think about the finances, the foods every day, the rent, or anything.
Right.
Yeah, because foreigners do have their stability, and they're independent about work. So that's why we love to have a foreigner. That's it's also like a perfect combination, because the foreigners that we find foreigners that already have their stable job and everything, that can provide and support the family, and all the woman would do, which is supposed to be in the Philippines. The culture that we have is woman should be at home. Your woman should be taking care of the family, the light of the family. Yeah.
I love that. I really do. You know, people in America, men work, women work, we have careers, a lot of stuff going on, obviously, right? But you're right, our lives are fairly stable and predictable. I know so many men who would tell me, Rana, look, I'll clean, I'll cook, I'll do everything. I just want love from a woman. That's it. I'll do absolutely anything. All she's got to do is what you just described. Just be a loving wife. That's it.
Yeah.
And it just sounds like that's an easy thing that girls from the Philippines enjoy. Guys, this is the first real conversation that I've had with Rana. I mean, I see her around the office, we say hi and such, but you're a very impressive young lady. You really are. You're very smart and well-spoken. This is very enjoyable. So, all right. I have all the fun, don't I, guys? I have the best job on the planet. I really do. All right.
Yes, me too.
Let's see what else you turkeys want to talk about tonight. Carlos, you're going to Ukraine. You're not changing your mind and going to the Philippines. I'm just kidding. Carlos is on my tour in July. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's see. Mark says, Rana, I've been talking to Edna, whose profile begins with a 16. Does that mean she's been on the site since 2016?
Wow, that's true. 2016. And that year was I met Rob.
In 2016?
In
Yeah.
2016.
Yeah, so generally, guys, you put a 20 in front of the girl's profile number, and that will tell you the year that her profile went up on the site. Now, keep in mind, as Rana just said, if we're going to bring, 100 women to a social on Friday night and 100 women to a social on Saturday night, every tour to the Philippines has a Friday night and Saturday night social. That's 200 women.
Yes.
If we have 20 guys and they all meet somebody, we got 100 and what?
We can
60
add
women?
we can add 100 girl is just a minimum.
Yeah.
You can add more if you just gave us the list of the women that you would love to meet on that socials. Yes.
So, I mean, it could be 120, 150, just depending on how many guys are on the tour, right?
Yes.
And the problem is that there are a lot of women who are just not going to meet anybody or haven't met anybody for a long time, and they come back, to another social and another. They keep trying. There's nothing wrong with that. Were you comfortable at the socials? Did you feel this was a respectful environment?
Yes, I was comfortable.
Do you think most of the girls felt comfortable at our socials?
Yeah, it's like the
Looks like
crowd.
fun.
It's not. It looks social. It looks like a elegant or an elegant event. But when you get there, when you're in the social, the venue, the environment is really fun. You don't have to we're looking for a woman. A husband. So all we have to do is be ourselves and show what we have, show what we've got, like that, and then show ourselves like that. Be you. So same as you guys, be yourself.
What do you like, guys? Guys always ask me, what do I wear when I go to the social? Is it warm and humid in the Philippines?
Yeah, it's warm and humid. So you
is
don't
this a
have
good idea in the
to-
Philippines? Are you thinking maybe something less?
Yeah, something less like that. It's like
Guys wear less when you go to the socials in the Philippines.
But don't worry, it's air conditioned, so.
That helps. That's cool. You guys are so laid back in the
Yeah.
Philippines. Man, I just love it. Carlos, who is going on my July tour, no matter what your answer to this question is asking, what is the traditional age of marriage for Filipino women? What age are they typically getting married at?
Mostly like early 20s, like 20 to 25. Yeah, because of course we would love to have a safe labor in our baby. We would love to be young while we're having a baby, so that when our baby grow up, we can still see our grandchild.
Right.
Yeah, we can still bond and have a close relationship with our daughter and son.
Yeah,
Do the trend
absolutely.
together.
Cool. So he was also asking, Carlos, let me get your other questions. What do the parents say if the age difference is 15 to 20 years?
Oh, our parents says will be. It doesn't look much like an issue. You will just have to show yourself, be sensible, be true to yourself while dating, and show yourself or show your sincerity to our parents. Yeah, because women in the Philippines already knew that having a foreign husband is like it's like a safety, a security to their daughter. Like the life would be like better than Philippine life. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is it harder to impress mom or harder to impress dad when a guy meets a
Mom.
girl's parents?
Mom is harder
tough
to
cookie,
express.
huh?
Yeah, mom. Our mom are the most. Mostly the father will just okay, as long as you love my daughter, as long as you take care of my daughter, like that. You don't.
So what are your advice for the guys? How do you win over mom? What do you got to do to win over mom?
Yeah, to win over mom, you have to win. You have to, of course, like show your sincerity to their daughter, so that their daughter will gonna back you up. Yeah, and then give flowers, give like sweet sweet gestures, and of course honesty, and the respect. Number one is the respect. Yeah.
So mom wants to see those things on display. She wants to
Don't,
see.
yeah. If you're older than like me and my mom and Rob, I told that Rob, you should show respect. It's the mano po. Yeah. But my mom said no. Just Rob, just shake hands. Yeah, shake hands.
Oh,
yeah.
that's great.
Rob was so shy because like
Was he nervous
older,
to see
he's
your mom?
older than my mom.
Oh. That happens sometimes.
Yeah. So
That's funny.
okay.
That's great. Very cool. So, it sounds like meeting mom and dad and your family. I mean, I would imagine you have sisters and brothers. Do you have sisters and brothers? Or?
I have my brother, but he died.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Do most girls from the Philippines have siblings, have brothers and sisters? Pretty big families
Yeah,
for the most part?
average would be 3. That's
Wow.
the average.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, there's 7, 9, like that. Big family.
Pretty much meeting the whole family at
Yes.
once then when you go to meet the family, not just mom and dad?
meet one family. It's just because family is a big thing. We're family oriented, of course. So when you meet, of course, when you take the hand of the daughter, of course, you have to at least meet the relatives, meet the family, and then. Mostly we have if you go to our house, then my family will gonna cook together. It's like a reunion too.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's really great. I had fun and Rob had fun, and then after eating, then go to the bar drinking.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes.
Nice.
Drinking with my father, with my grandmother, all go drinking, and then the 18 and above. So the kids were just stay home, go buy some ice cream for you. Okay, yay!
So you're
they're
sitting there at
happy.
dinner, nervous whether mom or dad likes you and the family. After everyone's okay, it's like, let's go drinking. Yeah, we all go out and toast. But that's
we're all
great. Go celebrate,
welcoming.
right?
Yeah. The happy thing is that we're welcoming. So embrace. Once you have my daughter, then you'll be part of the family.
Does the family prefer? Do they have any expectation about the girl being married in the Philippines versus coming to America and getting married? Do they have a preference? Do they understand the fiancé visa means she's going to get married in America? Do they want her to also have a celebration in the Philippines?
The parents usually would love to get married in the Philippines because they want it's a memorable to a woman. They want their daughter to have a chance to be in the church and see and then support your daughter while walking in the aisle.
Yeah.
Like that. It's a very memorable event to a woman. So, but they understand when it's fiancé visa, it should be in America. You get married in America. Yeah. That's why most of the Filipinas that I've met here and I knew her in America. They got married here, and then a few more years saving, then they go back to the Philippines and get married too.
Nice.
Yes.
Maybe not a one-year anniversary or something like that. It would
That's
be nice.
our plan with my Rob.
That's a good plan. Very romantic.
Yeah.
Way to go, guys. Does she prefer a Catholic marriage versus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Catholic, of course. It's very memorable.
Right on. Carlos, you're a good man. Appreciate your questions very much. I met Carlos a few times. He's a sweetheart.
Hi, Carlos.
Yeah. Right on, Stephen. Appreciate you also very much. What types of laws do the Philippines have concerning marriage if I were to marry a Filipina in her home city? Well, Mike, I'm not sure what you mean. What kind of laws are there? But there's, whoa, my microphone keeps dropping, guys. I'm sorry. Dropping the mic. There's nothing preventing a guy from America marrying his girl in the Philippines. You just have to get documentation together, I suppose, right?
Complete documentation, and then it's nothing more. Just the documentation. Show yourself, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No big deal. Goodness. How do Filipinas react to healthy diets?
Oh, healthy diets? Not much. But Filipina do love eating. We love cooking since we are a big family. We cook a lot, and then eat together. So the big difference too when I got here is that, well, my husband eat on his own because he eat late.
Yeah.
So I eat with my daughters or sometimes eat alone. So that's sad.
Kind of
but
miss that
yeah.
family cooking thing, right?
Family, the big ones, and then the crowd, people. Yeah. No matter what, even though we only have like vegetables or just a fish or just a viand and a rice, we're happy together. Yes, because we have this culture and belief that the family eats together, stays together. Yeah.
Yeah, just time together,
Yeah,
right?
time.
Just time talking and cooking together. That's such a, you know, in America, I think the idea of entire families cooking, it's a very romantic idea. I don't think it happens very much. I do think that sometimes we get to eat together, usually on holidays, right?
Yeah.
But our lives are so busy, you know, just like Rob's life, our lives are so busy with work and such. But to be able, I know that when guys travel, to Ukraine, for example, and I'm sure when they go to the Philippines, just to sit and have local food, which is probably better than a lot of American food. American food
Yes.
kind of, there's some good stuff. Have you tried any American food that you liked?
Yes, the rib steak. Rib steak. The
Yeah,
steak
right.
with raw.
Yeah.
Raw. That's
Raw?
the raw cook. Medium rare.
Oh, medium rare.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Medium rare.
So you're talking about beef
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
steak, right? Not like ribs necessarily, but
yeah.
so you like that? Medium rare, Is that what you
Medium
said?
rare.
Wow, cool. Yeah, that's pretty tasty. We do have good beef in this country.
Yes,
Have you been
the
to
beef.
Texas yet?
Oh yes, I've been Texas just a
Your
week
friends are
ago.
in Texas,
Yeah,
right?
I went there. So hopefully next week, next episode, we would have we will show you the story of John and Jolly at Texas.
John and
John
Jelly are
Jelly.
this incredibly lovely couple. They came to my seminar when I was in Houston, and truly just a handsome guy and very sweet girl. She's 7 months.
She's
getting ready.
Yeah, she's
right?
8 months now.
8 months.
Yeah, so next
Pregnant,
month,
so
yeah.
ready to have their child,
My
right?
sister.
Yeah, and they clearly love each other. They both seem like incredibly nice people, very, very
Yes,
gentle.
they do.
And they came to our seminar. They answered a lot of questions for a couple of hours. They were very, very sweet. So if I understand, you and Rob, we might actually have a video of their kind
Yes,
of little
we
story,
do.
right?
For the next episode.
Did you film that when you were visiting them recently? Is that how we did?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
cool.
got it.
Did you get some good food in Texas?
Of course. Pinoy food mostly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we cook together. Even though she's pregnant, but we still eat together a
Yeah.
lot of it, like
Nice.
4 times a day.
4 times a day. Just
4 or
'cause
5, yeah.
It's not just eating food, it's just being together and doing
yes,
something, right?
That's what we love.
Whatever you
eating
eat, it's a
while
good diet.
talking.
You're all so thin, for goodness sake. How about it? Yeah, Colts No Huddle says hi. Hello, Colts.
Good.
Martin says, I'm talking to a woman from the Philippines that is currently separated from her husband but not divorced.
Oh,
After 5 years, why would this be? Rona, is it tough to get a divorce? From what I understand, it is tough to get a divorce.
Yes,
in the
it
Philippines,
is.
right?
It took like a lot of years. But this year, I've heard that as long as you have money, the divorce would be done by less than a year. But before, it took you a lot of years. And also, divorce is not advisable in the Philippines because we're a Catholic, and the church are against the divorce thing because marriage is a matrimonial ceremony. It's guided by God, so it's hard to have a divorce. That's why when you get married, make sure that he's the one and you'll stay forever.
So there are a few questions around this that I think are interesting. I hear from guys that women in the Philippines, women in China, women in Thailand, Asian cultures don't need a long courtship. It's not like you need to date each other for a year before you know whether you get married or not. You kind of make that decision fairly quick, right? And then when you get married, you're making a commitment. Whatever comes at us, we're going to deal with it. We're going to work it out. Because am I right in summarizing that that's how women from the Philippines feel
But in
about
the
courtship?
Philippines, the courting is a long term.
It can be
Yeah,
long.
long term.
Before they commit to getting married.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because before, when it's not millennial, it's like courting is we need to court the whole family before the woman before the parents, because the parents has a big decision first, so they need to have their approval before you get the hands of the woman. But nowadays, mostly since there's a lot of like the divorce and the separation without divorce, so they accept their daughter to have a little live-in first. It's like living together without marriage. That's why because that's how you know the person very well.
Yeah.
And then when you're not compatible, then
right. It's good to know that before you make the commitment,
no need
right?
to pay for a divorce. It's so expensive.
Yeah, that's so interesting. It previously was expensive in the Philippines, and it sounds like President Duterte, I think he said he wanted to change that, right?
Yes,
Kind of a modern thinking guy, I guess, right?
I'm a Duterte.
How about it?
Davao.
So he said he was going to make it easier for people to get divorced if they needed to, and it sounds like that some laws have been passed that might actually happen in the next year or so. And he's from your city, I think, isn't he?
Yes, he's from my city,
Davao.
so I'm so proud.
How
He
about
became a mayor for long years.
So in a case where a couple is going through a divorce, if it's definitely happening and the woman is separated, Philippine culture and Philippine families will allow their daughter to date, even live with a guy for a while they're waiting for the official whatever thing to get done. Interesting. Cool. Good information. Guys, there's a green box above us if you're joining us. I hope, for the first time, second time, I hope you're enjoying the conversation. Rana does this twice a month. I just happen to come on here tonight. But, so twice monthly on a Wednesday night, Rana's going to be here to answer your questions about some of the video we're watching and meeting girls in the Philippines. And she's such a great personality, honestly. She's great. So you guys keep asking your questions. We have some time. Green box above us, and we'll keep going through getting your questions. Right, so let's see. Why are Philippine women so shy to wear a bikini? Are they?
Yes.
Are they shy to wear a bikini?
Yes, shy. Because based on our culture too, is that we don't show much of our skin. Yeah. Aside from going to the beach, but still, if you're in a beach, we still don't show. That still depends on the personality of a woman, because some of the women from the province don't like to show their skin because.
So when you say from the province, from
the
less
province,
dense,
smaller
populations.
population,
okay.
Because our parents don't do that.
More conservative.
We're conservative. A lot Filipinas in province a lot more conservative than in the cities. Women's in the cities. Because in the cities, most of the women there are career women, so like working without their parents, so they are more free. They have more freedom to do do what they like. But in province, since you have the relatives and the other on the house and in the other streets, you have relatives.
They're everywhere watching, right?
Yes. Okay.
So if you go out in a bikini,
someone saw you wearing short. Oh my God, Rona's wearing short over here.
In no time, right?
When you get home, and then your grandmother. Why are you wearing shorts?
That's when your boyfriend's going to have to answer it to the family, right?
Because it's like catching more attention to the guys, and your parents don't want guys to take advantage of you, to take like dirty thoughts about you. Yeah.
Of course. So when a Filipina girl gets married, does her attitude about that change? For example, would she be more comfortable wearing a bathing suit at the house pool or at a pool party among friends or that sort of thing? Does it change when she's married, or do you think you stay a little bit conservative even after marriage?
Stay a little, still stay in by her, like herself, but it still depends on your husband. Because like if my husband don't want me to wear, because some other husbands that I've heard don't want their wife to wear like this, wear like that, so they're good with that, and some others do. So that still depends on the occasion too.
So if your husband says, "Put on something cute, let's go to the mall and see how many die from a heart attack," you're good at that, pretty much.
Rob said, "Don't wear too much cute because I look like a father." I said, "Okay, I'll wear sexy lady type."
There you go. Do that. And the next time you're at the grocery store, when you're in the checkout line, just say, Dad, can I have a candy bar or something like that? That'd be awesome. All right, guys, questions are great. Rona, you're too much fun. You really are. Mike says Davao is nice. Everyone is friendly in Davao. How about that? So what is Davao like? Richard's been to Cebu before, but he hasn't been to Davao. You've probably been asked this question before. How do you compare Davao to Cebu? Is there much of a comparison?
Cebu is more populated. A lot of tall buildings in Cebu, and a lot of people walking around together. But in Davao, there's still a lot of people, but it's not civilized. There's not much party because our mayor, which is our president's daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Sara Duterte is very still wanted to the city to be more civil, to be still like conservative type. Like Rob don't like it because when smoking in Davao City, you have to be 200 away from the buildings or public. So there's just a small area that allotted for the smokers.
Yeah.
Yep. And then parties are until 3 a.m. only. Not in Cebu, which is they don't have a curfew. But we have curfew in Davao. That's why it's safer to walk at night in Davao. Yeah, most of the corners has a police officer like that.
Wow.
So it's safer. Even when I was in Davao, my friends walking, just the girls walking around, even though it's a little dark alley, but still it's safer.
But
yeah,
wow,
Davao
interesting.
is safer.
Police all over the city in Davao.
Yeah,
That's
not much. Not sure like in Cebu.
Yeah. Yeah, Cebu, you know, it's got a little bit of a reputation. A little more wild than Cebu, I suppose.
But
Still a nice city, but
yeah, still.
but Davao is more homey and laid back, I guess, right?
And safer.
All right, so I'm going to throw a word out at you, and I want you to tell me what it means, because I hear this word, and it's tempo. It sounds like temper.
Temper.
So what is that exactly?
Tempo?
Yeah, exactly. Are women in the Philippines known for having a certain kind of a temper? I should probably ask Rob this, but do women in the Philippines get angry easily with their husbands? When they do, what should a guy do?
Yeah, women in the Philippines has a lot of patience, but when the patience get full, it's like I explained it as like a bucket of patience. When that was full, then you get ready, be ready, because either you're gonna. Sometimes there is a Filipino woman, even though we're small, we punch. I punched.
You turn into Pacquiao,
Yeah,
huh?
it's like,
On the spot, right?
I want to let it go. Let's just let it go. Let this feeling go, madness go, and then just get over it. Yeah, just so we have that's why it's like we have this. Of course, we're a caring woman, so we have this patience, and we'd love to take care of you, but. Of course, just don't take advantage of our feelings. Take advantage of what.
Do you think Filipino women would pretend to be angry to get what they want, or do they only really get angry if they're angry?
I've heard some who wants to pretend just to get your attention, just to know because we women, we in the Philippines have this playful attitude too, that we want to pretend that we're mad, and we want to know what will be your expression, what will be your response to my attitude. That's why in the future we will know. Yeah,
that's nice.
Smart,
so when
wise,
I get mad,
be wise.
I see. Try it out and see how you react. Right?
Yes, if you can. Oh, okay, so
if you get what you want, it's like great.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, guys? That's some great inside information, right?
So that's a no. Okay, next.
All right, but if you are really mad, if the guy, because guys, we do stupid stuff once in a while. So if the guy forgets an anniversary or something, flowers right away, he can get himself out of trouble by just sincerely apologizing, flowers, that kind of thing.
Yes, we appreciated like that.
Quick to forgive.
Yeah, it's easy to forget. But the thing is, like, we're scared of the man who's like pushing you like that. Physical, like because of course we're small, even though we're strong in personality, but we're still small, and foreigners are bigger, have bigger features, so we're still scared.
I heard of a couple once. He was American, she's Filipino, and he was teaching her to drive, and she made a mistake, and he yelled at her, right? And then she got really, really mad at him for a long time.
She
cried, right? Because we're loud without even intending to be sometimes, right? When I go to Ukraine, people in Ukraine are very quiet, and Americans are always the loudest ones in the room. So sometimes just being loud without realizing it is enough to kind of offend your girls. So just keep a soft voice. And
that is true. It happens a lot of my friends do that. That's why when they have their driver's license, their husband will just send you to a school to do that, because we're emotional. And we cry even though you're loud. But we're emotional.
This is such a great discussion. All right, so I'm going to just throw this question out to you. What happens if you meet a man who himself is a little bit emotional and he cries at a sad movie? Or do women in Ukraine are like, don't ever let me see you cry. I don't care if everyone dies, you better be the last one crying. So how do women in the Philippines feel if the guy gets a little emotional sometimes? Sad kind of, or even if a romantic type of thing, he's crying because of something romantic.
When a guy do that, it's not a disadvantage.
It's not offensive.
It's not offensive. It's actually a good thing. We feel that he's emotional too, so he will understand what I feel, like that. So what we do on that guy, mostly of the Filipinos will gonna give you a hug. Give you a hug and then pat you. Like that, and we sometimes we even cry with you.
Oh my God.
It depends on the situation.
Keep me out of the Philippines, man. That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. And then hilarious. Once you cry, we make a little fun of you because you cry.
Nice. So once you get him calmed down, then you're like,
can
you believe you cried at that?
Because we want you to smile after the cry. It's a good release of emotion. Crying is a good release of emotion. So after you cry, let it go, boy. Like that. You're not a girl. Boys do cry.
Okay.
It's a good thing.
That is too funny, seriously.
That's why even though you have muscles, you're still soft inside.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Boy, that's spectacular. I shouldn't admit this publicly, but I think it's kind of funny. We have to laugh at ourselves sometimes. I don't know why it is. I need deep therapy, but I cry at like every movie I go to for just a moment. It could be Scooby-Doo, and I'm crying. I mean, seriously, right? My daughter and I are at Walmart. We're checking out. There are people all over the place, and she says, "Look, Dad, it's Alvin and the Chipmunks. Remember that movie you cried at?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? I didn't cry at Alvin and the Chipmunks." She said, "Yes, you did. When Alvin and Dave were reunited." I'm like, "Stop, just stop." And everyone's laughing at me, but what can I say? But anyway, I liked your answer to that. That's great.
Yeah.
You girls are too much fun.
I cried a lot too in movies. Rob said, "What again?" Because sometimes he caught me crying, and what happened? And he was scared because something might happen in the Philippines. No, I cried because of this movie. Come on.
Get him to cry and take a picture of it and send it to us, okay? Please. We would really appreciate it. Please, just do that.
I cry a lot. I'm so emotional.
All right. Let's see. There's a great question down here, or maybe up there. Marcus, listen, man, with all due respect, the question, how do we get a message to a woman directly instead of paying an employee of a foreign affair? Marcus, here's the thing. We're not a charity, dude. I mean, I wish we were. I wish we could be. 100% of clients that pay to write letters to girls on a foreign affair would rather do that for free, 100%. How many of them are starting their own agency, hiring people in other countries, finding girls like Rana, paying the $100,000 you need to pay every month for advertising? Zero. So the very respectful answer to your very well-received question is you're not gonna. The other thing is that a lot of guys write letters to girls in the Philippines, but they never go and meet the girls in the Philippines, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that happens a lot?
I received 3 letters before, but I haven't. But we have a nice conversation. But since he didn't he came and meet me, so we got lost connection. And
You can only write letters for so long, right? I mean, at some point, this is an industry which is built around agencies that want you to write letters into oblivion and never go anywhere, Marcus, right? And so we're one of the very few that does tours. We actually take you to a place where you can be in this exact environment, meeting someone like Rana. What a game changer that is for your life, right? So I understand why you asked that question. Just so everybody knows, you're probably not going to do that until you get on the plane and go and meet the girl. When you're in the Philippines and you go out on a date with a guy, if you like him, how soon will you give him your phone number?
If I like him,
I mean girls in general in the Philippines. But, yeah.
I would love to give my number after the first date if I like you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't get the number after the first date, there's something wrong probably, huh? Or do you think some girls are maybe will wait till the second date or so?
Wait till you got a sincerity. I got to till the lady understands your sincerity and like that you're serious of her. That's what, because of course we still like it's an agency of meeting a woman, so we would it's like we're still confused of your intention or just dating like that. So
when you know the guy's serious, right? When he's not dating any more girls or meeting any more girls, that's probably going to help him get that direct contact information a little more readily, right?
But mostly after the first date. Yeah.
Cool. Right on. All right, guys. Eli, hey, buddy, how you doing? He says he loves Filipino women, beautiful, good-hearted. I just love them. Can't wait to find them a right one. Well, Eli, I'm not sure what that meant entirely, but I hear you, brother. Do the ladies still dance at the socials? Do we?
Yes, of course. We dance a lot. We sing a lot. So we're good, fun, and approaching.
Like to dance, like to sing, right?
Approachable.
Do you sing at home?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Do you and Rob sing together, or
no,
you sing?
Rob
sits it out.
let me sing.
Does he play the drums or anything at least?
No,
no.
He just play the keyboard.
Karaoke? Do you like karaoke?
We love Filipinas.
Is that a good date idea in the Philippines?
Yes, it's too. Like that singing together, and then it's a romantic type of date. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Wow.
And then drinking a little or eat a little, like that.
Nice. Little drinking, little eating, little karaoke, right? So if a guy's like me, and after a few beers, he can make Frank Sinatra sound like Metallica. Is that a good thing? Pretty much.
Metallica, I love Metallica.
You like Metallica?
Yeah, we rock.
But
we Filipinas do rock.
Are you kidding me? Seriously?
We like. We understand. We blend with the one that we have date with. So when you blend with when you do rock music, as long as you don't punch and do the rock and smash the thing.
Destroy any furniture.
Yeah, you're safe.
No mosh pits.
Yeah,
in the karaoke club.
Yeah.
All right. That's great. Seriously. That's awesome. But you know what? If a girl is singing, she's happy, right? Most of the time.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So
girls do sing rock musics too.
Yeah.
It's soften and the mood that you're dating.
Yeah. You want your girl singing, definitely, right? Gio says, are there many women in the Philippines who are 5'6", 5'7" in height? So women who are maybe 4 or 5 inches taller than you. Are there many of them, do you think?
Yeah, there's still many of them, like 5'7". 5'7".
Something like
I'm
that.
just an average, sorry.
Robert says, I heard the girls from Davao could make better quality wives than Cebu. Oh, I don't know about that. Where did you hear that from?
Still in the Philippines, so you still can find.
Right.
Yeah, Philippines.
Where is Glenda from? Is she from Cebu?
Davao.
She's from Davao.
Yeah.
And so I'm just thinking of the couples that I know. Well, Bonnie's from Cebu, and she's
Cebu.
fabulous. Man.
Marlon
She
is from Cebu too.
Marlon is from Cebu. Why did I think she was from Davao? Yeah, I don't know. They're all fabulous. They really are. Bonnie and Marlon, you, Glenda, just some of the nicest women I've ever met, and really spectacular girls. So I wouldn't overthink that too much, man. I would just get yourself over there.
Still in the Philippines, so the culture is still in their heart.
Philip says, at a dinner, meet with the beautiful ladies and you give a lady more attention, do the other ladies get jealous and or upset? What I think he's asking is at a social event. So you're at a social event, you were at a few social events that we do.
Yes.
When a guy is giving attention to a particular girl, do the girls get jealous at the social event? Is it too early for girls to get jealous, or do you think they
just
do get
a little jealous, but still, if we have if we're given a chance, then why not? And then just give what you got, and then show what you show, like show your attitude, show your sincerity, like that. It still doesn't matter. It's like Because we already knew that we're in AFA, so as long as we will give it, they will give us a chance, then it's a good thing.
I'm just struck by the attitude of, we're the guys who are going to your country and to find a wife, right?
Yes.
So guys are coming to your country, and I think a lot of the guys feel it's up to me to show what I have to offer. But I hear you talking a lot about how you want to be able to make an impression on the guys and show them, you know, your personality and what you are. I just think that's very sweet. Right on. Okay, cool. So is there alcohol at the socials in the Philippines?
And the socials?
Yeah.
Yes, there's a wine served.
There's some wine served at least?
some
All right.
wine.
That probably helps the dancing a little bit, right?
Dancing.
Is it likely to get a kiss? Sly, I knew this was your question. Sly, they call it, his name is Sly for a reason, right? All right. Is it likely to get a kiss from a Filipina on a first date? Sly, good
No.
word.
Yeah.
Not even for Sly?
Yeah, mostly you can't get a first.
Shouldn't do it.
kiss
Shouldn't go for it.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: you girls are very friendly. So I could easily see where a guy, even a nervous guy, is thinking she's very cute. She's talking to me.
Yeah.
She's totally into me. I should totally try and kiss her on a first date. But you're thinking that's probably a little too much.
Yeah,
for a
too
first
much,
date.
or like it's too
Forward.
fast.
Yeah.
Too fast to do that thing. But if some of the girls, if you'd ask, then just ask them first.
Just ask. Really.
Yeah, ask first. Can I give you a kiss?
Really?
Mostly, okay, over here.
On the cheek,
yeah,
right?
some are just confused, or like doubting. Yeah.
Second date, third date. When is it?
Second
kind of
and
appropriate, do you
third,
think?
probably you can get one,
Yeah.
as long as you ask for it. As long as you ask,
As long as you
make sure
ask
to
for
ask.
it on a second.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's such a nervous thing for guys. What do I say? Oh my goodness. That's cute.
Because I just want to make of course I'm a woman. I don't want the women in the Philippines take advantage of me telling that it's good. Yeah, because we're still conservative, so just to be safe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a great question, Sly. Actually, I'm glad you asked it because that was an interesting answer. So, Philip says, never married, no kids, lonely heart, would love a lady from Cebu and a family. I don't think that's hard to
would
do.
love to. Just have courage to get some ticket, get register, and call Bud for
What is your daughter's name again? I'm sorry.
Saint Lou.
Saint Lou.
Yeah, Saint
Did
Lou.
she make friends right away?
Yes, of course she loves to go to school because there are a lot of kids
She's very
there.
cute.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
And she just awarded from first quarter till there that a good personality, polite and kind and sweet.
Just like her mom,
Yes.
right?
Thank
She is a
you.
mini you, for
Yeah.
sure. Guys ask all the time what it's like for children to come here. The government basically decides, our State Department decides whether or not we're going to let mom come for a visa, and most of the time we do, and then any children will automatically get a visa to come as well. And so she's going to start first grade next year.
Yes, I'm so excited.
First grade. I was in first
I
grade
still
once.
want to. My parents, my grandparents, my relatives still want to keep the Philippine culture, even though we live in America.
How do your parents want you to keep the Philippine culture?
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you do that here?
Yeah, it's though it's hard. You need to work double time than in the Philippines because there's a lot of environment influence. But still, at house, I need to, like, every time we go to, we came from work or from school, like that, she needs to go call daddy, I'm home. And yeah, I'm home, daddy, just letting you know that you're home. Respect the people in the house, like that. And then keep the we call our babysitter. I mean a caregiver from Karina. She called her Mama Sarah because I don't want her to call just Sarah. I'm an older. Like the elders should call not just by their name, because it's rude in our country.
So you don't call, you wouldn't call, I wouldn't call
no,
Robert, I'm sorry, somebody wouldn't call a girl's father by his first name.
Yes.
So what do you call him?
Mama Sarah.
Mama Sarah.
Yeah, I asked Sarah first.
And Papa, whatever.
Yeah, Daddy Rob, of course, Daddy Rob. And then Kuya Asher. Sarah's son is Asher, which is older than her. He's 8 years old, so you need to call her Kuya. Kuya means older brother. Though you're not relatives by blood, but still as a respect for being old, so you need to being older than you. So you Kuya Asher. There's a branding. Yeah, a Tito John. We called John as a Tito John. Yeah, Tita Tanya, like that. Ate Karina. Ate is the older sister.
There are these titles that you use that are a sign of respect. And you're teaching them to your daughter because you want to maintain that in your house.
Yes, still maintain.
That's very cool.
The eating, just stay on the table while eating. That, and then she knows the house chores. She cleans. She helps me wash the dishes. She helps me cook. She cleans her room by her own. So yeah,
cleans her room already.
Yeah, independent. So
That's great.
yeah, being independent is a good thing to just make sure that not too independent. Same as here. I don't want to. Yeah, and Rob says that. By 18 you have to go.
18, you're off to college, right?
Because me, if I told Rob that if she's not ready, then don't let her go out. Because in the Philippines, that's why that's why since our parents, our relatives keep us, even though if we're still not ready to be independent, then they let us. That's why when my parents, when our older people gets old, we don't want them to send to caregiver or something. We want to give what they gave us. It's ours. It's not you're not forced to do that, but deep in our heart, as a conscience too, as a Filipina, as a Filipinoy, taking care of the elders are very great.
Very important.
It's at least you pay the favor that they gave you food, they take good care of you when you were young, when you're not able to take care of yourself. That's,
I love the attitude. I really, really do. Isn't it great? It's a lot of people in America, I know a lot of men feel that we're getting farther and farther away from those strong family values, and so it's just nice to hear you speak to that, Rana. That's a cool thing. That really is. All right, guys, more questions. Way to go, guys. You're keeping the conversation going tonight. Appreciate it very, very much. How many women in the Philippines have the same view as Rana? She's great. Do you think you're a typical girl from the Philippines?
Yes, I'm a typical girl. Yeah, like an average.
Phil is asking, is 50 years old too old to start looking for love in Cebu, in the Philippines?
Numbers. Just Filipinas, we have this age doesn't matter. Yeah, so as long as you're sincere, you're a good man, then why not? Love is not just a number. Love is blind. Yeah.
Right. So when you have a woman from the Philippines who has a child, one of the questions that comes up is it easy to take that child from the Philippines to America? Some of that depends on the relationship with the father, but do you think that that's a difficult thing, or most of the time the fathers aren't around, or they give permission, or what generally happens with that? Any idea?
Most of the time, the mother usually would love to bring their child to the Philippines. Yeah. Because since it's hard to adjust when you're just alone and your mind is with your daughter being away, but still depends on the father relationship. But mostly, if most of them are the father you just have to talk to the father, make sure that their daughter are safe with you, and in the papers, some men don't want to, and then they pay the father, like that.
Yeah, some guys are like,
some guys do that.
right. Some guys want a
just
fee or something ridiculous like that, right?
So there's
some fathers do
cases
it because they're good men. They want to do the right thing for their daughter, right?
Yeah. And since their daughter will have a better future in America.
I think a good question, Phil, when you're dating a single mom, and definitely by all means do, but I think a good question at some point is, tell me about the relationship between the father and the child. How do you think he will react?
Yes.
And there's a good chance that she'll know how he'll react, and she can kind of speak a little bit around that, right? Because the kids are definitely coming, which is great.
It
That's how
still
it should be.
depends on the age of the kid too, because most, if they're older, they
Like in their
want
20s or late teens or something.
It's
But
hard to get here.
yeah, so if the child is going to be over the age of 21 when they arrive in America, they're probably not coming on a fiancé visa. They'll have an opportunity to come later on when their mom gets citizenship,
Yes.
and they can come and visit on visitors visas at some point. But yeah. Phantasm says, that's such a great name. My mother told me don't give up on American women, but I'm really attracted to these Asian women. There seems to be a lot of good qualities about these women. Phantasm, I think that if you're going to marry one woman that you can spend the rest of your one life on this one earth with, you might as well broaden that search until you find the right person, right? Don't just marry somebody who's the best available person in your neighborhood, but you want to find your true soulmate, right?
That you make sure that you stay together forever.
Right. It's very important. I think, honestly, meeting women from a culture where you really just don't get divorced, I mean, they just don't want you to get divorced. I mean, here in America, people get divorced.
Don't want
it
to
happens.
get divorced.
And I know in Ukraine, for example, a lot of the women want to stay married. A lot of the men don't, but you can get a divorce in Ukraine, in Russia, maybe 30 days, 2 weeks. It's too easy. It really is.
That's right.
It's kind of sad, right? But I think and a good argument for your mom is, go to a culture like Colombia or maybe Peru or the Philippines or China where you just don't get divorced. People get married, you stay married, you work it out, right? You keep those family ties close together. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. That's why, for better, for worse, till death do us part.
Don't make me cry. It's not going to be pretty. It's not hard to do. Just ask Kirk. I cook and clean and bake and all that, says David. I believe all the house chores can be split between a couple. However, how do Filipinas feel about working in my business? So if I own a business and I'm an entrepreneur, how will she feel about working in my business? That probably depends on what his business is, I suppose. But in general, so do girls from the Philippines want to work right away when they come here, even if you have your child? Is it more important to be raising the child or working or find a balance? What do you think about that?
We would love to have both, because working is also a self achievement as a woman. Like we don't want to just take advantage of our husband, just asking money. Even though we're still husband and wife relationship, we're still shy to ask money. Because in the Philippines, we do want to, of course, we take care of the family. So we're still has our own career, an attitude of self-respect, of being a career woman to get a money to provide with the family. So we would love to help you, of course. I'm helping with my husband with his work, so I would love to help you with your struggles in life, with your ups and downs, like that. So
you want to help me with my struggles? We can talk. We can talk. How much time do you have? Let's clear her schedule for a little while, guys. So if a guy has a business, that's probably a nice opportunity, because then she can work with him. As long as
you gave her a chance to learn. A chance and the time to learn.
Did you work in the Philippines?
Yes, I worked.
What did you do in the Philippines?
A call center agent.
You were in a call center, wow.
For graveyard, so I mostly work 1 a.m. till like 8 or 9 a.m. Yeah.
Wow, how about it? But I can see how you developed your communication skills, which are excellent, right? How about that? Cool.
Thank you.
Best webcast ever, says Chuck. Right on, Chuck. Thank you. And the Chuck Award goes to Bud and Rana. Thank you. Thank you.
More viewers. Go. Thank you.
What are the differences between the ladies in the Philippines? I knew that question would come up. And the ladies from the Ukraine. Well, there we go. So let me tell you what I think, and you can tell me if you think I'm crazy, all right? First of all, two entirely different worlds. and different stresses and different pressures. You know, you've got a pretty good government. You've got a good president. He's trying, right? And
Yes,
he's kind of
of
controversial,
course.
but he's trying. A lot of people are behind him,
Yeah.
right? Ukraine's government is very much up for grabs, and life in Ukraine is very difficult. So the women in Ukraine sometimes can be, you know, they're a little tough just because they have to be to survive. They have no
yeah.
men around them at all. You have big families in the Philippines.
yeah.
Women in Ukraine don't. I would say girls in the Philippines are probably a little more religious. They're more centered in their Catholic faith.
Yes.
And girls in Ukraine identify as Orthodox Christian, but they may not practice every week or every month. It's just part of their kind of identity. Girls in the Philippines, how many children, I mean, did you think you would want to have when you got married?
3.
Three, right?
love to have
So we're not
3.
going to be seeing much of Rob here for the next year or so. Anyway, 3 kids. Oh my God. I have 5, and they're all spectacular, by the way.
Wow,
They're all
that's so nice.
absolutely spectacular.
It's rare. It's rare in, in America.
Let me tell you. So yeah, kids are great. Greatest part of life
Yes, I love
by means.
that.
So women in Ukraine, probably a child would be happy. They come from smaller families. They have fewer resources and that kind of thing. So other than that, honestly, I mean, they're both excellent. So it's more a matter of you just look at the women from the women from Ukraine, and just go
Yes.
somewhere. I will say this though, one big difference:
Explore.
women in the Philippines are definitely more open on age difference. Women in Ukraine are okay with 10, 15 years. If you're going to go beyond that, it gets a little weird for them. They might do it. Girls in the Philippines,
Yeah,
10,
right,
15
okay.
years, 20, 25 years, if he's looking good, and he
Me
wants...
and my husband is 30 years.
How many years?
30.
Wow!
Tune in.
You're 30 years older than Rob? I knew it. I
It's a
knew it.
secret, guys.
Not anymore. How many views do we
Don't
have?
tell my
1,000?
Rob.
All right, good. So, but honestly, like your Jelly's husband, what is his name? I'm so sorry.
John.
All right, I'm
Yeah,
so sorry.
John.
John and Jelly, if you had met them, I think it's even a greater age difference
Yeah,
with
I
us too,
think
right?
32.
Right?
Yeah, 32 or
Cutest
34.
couple you ever saw. And they
Yeah.
clearly love each other. They are. I mean, you know, just she's a very beautiful couple. So it's just nice that people find each other and those barriers go away, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
I just think it's wonderful when good
It's
people find
just
each
the
other.
guys make it a big deal.
Yeah.
But in women in the Philippines, it's not.
They're like, don't make it a big deal. It's,
Yeah.
it's not. Don't worry about it. If you're ready to get together and start a family, we're ready. Nice. All right, guys, your questions are great. Are you guys okay? Everybody all right? Kirk's passed out back there. Rob's drinking. I don't know. Another 15 minutes. Are you okay? You're
Of
doing great,
course,
kiddo.
too.
Man. I don't know. Yeah, we do. We got to have Rob on here next time. I'll interview Rob, right? That will be interesting. All right, so let's say, some say, yep, here's another question. This probably comes up every week because it's a very common question.
Sly.
When you marry, I know, right, Sly? Can I get a first kiss? But Sly, it's a great question. It's very typical. When you marry a girl from the Philippines, what about financial support for her family? So I always tell the guys when I do my seminars exactly what you said earlier. Women in the Philippines feel we're part of this family. We protect each other. We love each other. If I remove myself from that, I'm taking something away from my family.
Yes.
And we have to do something about that. And I know that in the beginning, if you can't work right away, when you come here, the guy needs to obviously step up and help out, right? Because now he's part of the family, right?
Yes,
This is
of
now his
course.
family, right?
Of course. He's
And then at
part.
some point you'll work and you can contribute to your family or whatever, but maybe you can add to that if there's anything you can add to that. Did I summarize that correctly?
Yeah, so you do. My husband, I really love him because he first, because of course I don't have a job and I'm so shy to ask for it, but he took the first move or the first topic to give them monthly, and then when I got the job, I'm confident to just give them. Yes.
You didn't even have to ask Rob. He just stepped
Yes,
up and said, let me help your
yeah,
family.
he's
Right?
so
When was the last
good.
time you heard a woman say that she loved her husband, right? I mean, I know it happens. Of course it does, but it is a very cute thing to hear, right?
It's saying I love you is a normal thing in the Philippines. As sincere saying I love you, just being I love you is not. Some says that it's not sincere saying I love you every day, but we do it every day.
If you
just
feel
to let
it,
you know,
it's sincere,
because
right?
every day is make your life as every day as the last day, so we'd hate having regrets.
Don't let anything go unsaid,
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron is very unique, right? There's only one
Not
Ron in
just
the world.
by
There's-
saying, we also show it by actions. Actions are louder than voice. Are like saying it. Yes.
So, Rana, you're entirely unique. There's not another Rana in the world. Unfortunately, there's only one. But I'm trying to picture being in a room with 300 of these, honestly. I'm trying to picture being in a room with 100 Ranas. The socials in the Philippines must be just so amazing, right? What do we do at the socials in the Philippines? What's a social, what, 3 hours long, 4 hours long?
I think it's 4 hours long,
do we
and
do?
after that, we have parties.
Yeah. We'll go out and
solo
hang out
parties
together,
with
right?
the client. So we do first is of course, the main event would be the table hopping. So meet the boys first. Once they meet the girls and they get used to the area or the surroundings, then we'll have these parties like games to ease the pressure of the guys. So we do the games and then the singing. We sing. A lady will be representative for singing and giving flowers to the guys. It's not just a woman who will receive flowers, just men too. So after that, we do the programming, which guys will do. Guys will dance too with a group of the girls. So they dance, so they show us the move. And then there's a beauty pageant too. Beauty pageant is a big thing in the Philippines too. So we do. It's not the pressure. It's not a pressure thing. It's like it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. We do like funny things, stuff like that. Yeah. And then the games would be so funny because there's an eggplant that will be tied on the guy, and you need to swing it to the girl.
What? All right, so wait a minute. There's a visual. There's an eggplant tied to the guy, and he needs to swing the eggplant
to the other girls
other
who has
girl.
a eggplant too. So you need to swing together just to tie it.
Tie the eggplant, right?
Yeah. It's natural. It's like. It's a games in the Philippines. Yeah, we have a lot of fun games.
Actually, games are great. You know, if you go on a singles cruise, they're going to play games, right? This is what people do at singles parties. You play games. I see girls singing sometimes at the socials, right?
Yes.
So that's kind of cool. There he is right there, getting down. Look at that.
Dance. See? He's dancing.
Nice.
Yeah, good.
You know, if you're around people, there's my friend Daniel.
It's just a 10 minutes rehearsal. And then you get
a rehearsal and then the dance contest or whatever, right? Nice. That's great. That's too funny. That's great. Girls are leading the dance.
Yeah.
If you're around people who are relaxed and having fun, you're going to have fun. It's as simple as that, right?
Yeah.
Earl is asking, what is a proper way to greet a girl's parents? You might have just answered that, but there are specific ways to greet. So you to introduce Rob to your parents, I'm sure you said, Rob, when you meet my mom, call her this. Or when you meet my dad, call him this. So what was that like? What did you...
I told her just a proper respect for the elders or to my parents as a courtesy. A courtesy for the relatives. So if you just have to like observe the surroundings, if they're smiling at big faces, and then it's like they're not. Of course, they will be shy, and they're afraid of saying English like that. Yeah, of course, especially my father. My father, what if I nosebleed? My father said, what if I'm gonna nosebleed? I lost my English. My father said, you just have to hug my father and hug Rob so that he won't feel nervous.
Trying to get everybody relaxed.
Yes.
So is there a special way to say your mother's name for Robert when he met your mother, for example? What is your mother's name, for example?
Dolly.
Dolly, okay.
Yeah,
so
Dolly,
can Robert say, Dolly, nice to meet you? Or that's what he should say? Okay.
So, because my mom said, no more, like that. When my mom we have eye-to-eye contact, and then Dolly.
Yeah.
So just first name and a handshake and a hug.
Yeah, cool.
First handshake and then call Dolly. I'm Rob. I'm Dolly. So handshake and then hug.
So interesting.
Yes.
What's great about that, guys, is just like Rana and Rob or anybody, you'll have that time where you sit with your girl and you say, how do I make your parents feel comfortable? And she'll tell you, right?
Yes,
she'll give you all that good advice. Just listen to her, right? Just pay attention, take notes, whatever you got to do.
Because there's some parents too who's like not so open about American because they are scared because they knew that if they have their relationship, their daughter were gonna fly away, and then
Right.
they're scared what happened. Of course, my parents, before Rob went to my family's house, I told them first. I let them know that this is the Rob is gonna come here, and then we talked like the whole night for like what would be like, what will be, and they're also nervous to meet Rob.
Sure.
Yes,
Of course.
and because they knew that it would be forever, so we better have like extra careful. Yes, so Rob is like this and like that, and what would be the food, especially the food. The first thing that my parents ask is the food. What would be what
does
he
he
will
eat?
like?
Yeah.
Yeah, do he eat Filipino food? Because we serve with the family, so there's a lot of food. So gladly I cooked the adobo and the pancit, so he like it, and the sinigang. So yes. After that,
pretty easy,
my cousins and my aunt said, so after this, so we're gonna go. Are we going to have a beer? So we went to the nightclub, something.
Nice.
Yeah, and have a beer that with my grandfather,
Yeah.
with my father.
Great.
So
Sounds like a great
yes,
experience.
it's a good.
Get all the formalities out of the way. Let's go drink stuff.
He met like 50 people.
And wow, when he met your family?
Yes.
Wow, he met the whole neighborhood, goodness. Is it hard to adjust to the time difference when... Have you been back to the Philippines yet?
No,
Since you-
not yet.
It's the time
Been-
difference. Obviously, it's a big time difference, right?
It's 13 hours.
13 hours,
yes.
right?
Philippines are advanced in 13 hours.
Was that hard for you to adjust to?
No, it's not that hard. We have, for nowadays, we have the Skype, we have Messenger or Facebook, so most of the time they will call me in their morning and my 7 p.m. nights. Actually, they're watching now.
Are they watching,
Mama
seriously?
Dali, my Papa
What a
Ronald,
nice daughter
and
you
my
have,
family.
guys.
Yes.
Nice. What a
My
great
family.
couple.
Thank
Great
you.
family indeed. That's spectacular.
Very supportive.
I feel very privileged. I really do. Do women have to send a lot of money back? We talked about that. Can Filipino women adjust to watching American sports?
Ooh, I love it.
Like football and basketball.
Of course.
That is the most excellent question, Brian. How did it take us so long to ask that question?
Yes, we do.
You do?
Yeah, I actually learned it before I got here, and the football team, because since it's a big deal in the Philippines, basketball is the big sports in the Philippines.
Wow.
So but most of the girls don't. Some of the girls don't watch the sports thing. Yeah,
Some do, some don't. It's kind of
some
an
don't.
individual
just
thing,
just
right?
look at the Facebook, not on the TV. Well, some of my friends here don't watch TV, just Facebook or that.
You
to
watch
update
TV,
with the
we'll do
Philippines,
Facebook,
yeah.
right? Yeah. And American football is kind of a funny sport. Baseball is another one. Well, they probably play baseball in the Philippines. Do they play baseball at all in the Philippines?
not
They do
too
in Latin
much,
America,
yeah.
obviously,
Not
right?
too.
But some
Not too
sports
much,
you just
yes.
haven't seen much of.
Yes.
Is there a sport that's famous in the Philippines that we wouldn't know much about here? I mean,
Sipak takraw, it's famous.
Sipak takraw.
It's a football, but a native. It's not the ball is made up of coconut or something, or
Wow.
bamboo, a bamboo.
oh, bamboo.
Yeah.
It's coconut. I just eat it, man.
Yes.
Forget the game.
It's like a volleyball type, but using your using your foot, not
Type
your
of
hands.
football, I mean like soccer or something
Yeah.
like that.
But a volleyball
you have a net
court,
type of thing?
yeah.
Oh, a court.
Volleyball
Interesting.
court.
How did you call it?
Sepak takraw. Yeah. It's a native.
Yeah, that's it. Goodness. Great questions, guys. Appreciate the discussion very much. A few more minutes with you, okay? Let's scroll up here. Doing a great job for these guys, Rana.
Thank you.
I don't know much difference between Chinese women and Filipino women. Could you talk about the differences in general, says Sly. What do you think? Do you have anything
Yeah,
you want to kind of mention around that?
Chinese, of course, the first difference is their white skin. And then, but the culture is they have smaller family, and then they still intact a family-oriented one. But I think there are more strict about the parents are very strict, mostly because what I heard and what I knew is that the Chinese likes to not so open about the different family, because they're like a family. It should when your daughter get married, it should be a friend's family's son, like that. So they're not too open about a foreigners.
So what Ron is speaking to is it's Chinese tradition, even now.
Yes.
The arranged marriage, right?
Yes.
We know somebody who knows somebody whose son would be a great husband for you, and very short courtship. Women in China are starting to really not be cool with that, and the whole marriage agency thing is beginning to become a very big business in China. I think women in the Philippines are more religious than women in China.
Yes.
Women in China have their faith and their philosophies and such. And the family size, definitely, right? Very small families in China. But I don't know, Sly. I mean, other than that, you know, the women in China, they all have access to university education. Some more of them have a little bit more of an opportunity, I suppose. But that's probably about it, my man. I think Sly's going to the Philippines. That's what I think. Sly, Bud always makes it about the women and not about himself. Well, Sly, thank you very much. I'm boring. The men and women and the stories we have, Sly, people like you are way more interesting than I am. What is the best way to meet Philippine women online social event? Yeah, I think. How did you hear about the agency, by the way? How did you decide to join?
My friend's friend got married because of AFA. Yeah, and she lives in California right now. But since I've heard that AFA has a successful relationship and it's real, so I get the courage. I open windows and doors for myself, for opportunities in the future.
How about it?
Yeah.
You heard something, so you looked it up online and said, I'm going for it. Huh? And that's probably what you want to do as well, my friend. I mean, you got this far, right? If you're watching us, you're in a really good place because we're quite legit and we're very passionate. I mean, people like Rana, and there are so many nice girls. Rana's very unique, but you know what I'm saying? There are many, many nice Philippine girls just waiting to find their husbands still, right?
Thousands of them.
So, you know, you can decide if you want to start writing, you know, and get to know a few ladies through correspondence. It may be better just to save your money, get on the plane and go. Go in August or go in October. How long did the visa process take for you and Rob?
7 to 9 months.
7 to 9 months, right? So we got a whole bunch of those applications in the Philippines. So 7 to 9 months. You go, you meet your girl, you have your courtship, you fall in love, you meet the family, you make the commitment, you did it, you do the visa application. Less than a year goes by and she's here, and you've got your girl. Just like the whole thing in the span of a year. I mean, that's a pretty amazing opportunity, right? So just do it, man.
It's worth your time and money.
Just go to the social events, go to the tours, do it. I'm in my mid-60s, says Paul, looking for someone in their mid-40s. How many girls are at the socials in their 40s and up? He says they all look like they're in their 20s and 30s, but you girls in the Philippines, all of you Asian girls look way younger than your age. I mean, the women in China, the women in Thailand, you girls are amazing at how young you look for your age, right? But what do you think? Are there girls at the socials in their 40s, or are there girls who could be at the socials in their 40s if guys wanted them
most
to be?
of their 40s are like they don't have most chance to get to be in the socials because to be in the socials you need to be active. You need to recruit, or to spread to get a single lady to register in AFA too, or the chances that they have will be getting an invitation from you guys. Yeah, that would be the big chance for them. So basically, it's just 10% probably. Yeah.
You know, so Special is asking if you're older or if for whatever reason you can't or don't want to father more children, is it easy to meet somebody in the Philippines who doesn't have children or doesn't want to have children? And if so, how old is she likely to be?
You mean that they don't want to have children?
Yeah.
It's rare. It's rare for a woman not to ask about a child. But mostly probably they're in their 18 to 22, that they still want to spend time a lot with you and build a great relationship before having a child. So
Oh, interesting. So at a younger age, they might be okay with being married for a few years before you
Yes.
actually start the family.
Yes,
But around
yes.
22, 23, that's when
they
they
want
start.
to they want to
baby
spend
time.
a lot of time with you first and have like vacations, have travels.
Cool.
Yes, because when having a baby, we know that it's a big responsibility, so you need to take time. So when you have a child, you can't travel anymore, or we wait a lot more time to travel with you or to spend just the two of you together.
Nice.
Because there will be a lot.
That we weren't going to have kids.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the issues I brought up. There's plenty of women over there.
Yeah. She's got your beautiful daughter. You got a beautiful daughter. You have several children, don't you? I believe, right? So I mean, Rob, like me or anybody else, I mean, there are many men who are at a stage where it's like, I've done my duty, man. I've got
Yes.
great kids. They're all spectacular. I probably wouldn't start another family, but I wouldn't mind meeting a single mom. There are a lot of men who would say that. There are a lot of single
Yes.
moms in the Philippines, right? So Rob was just pointing out that that was part of their discussion, that they knew that this is going to be our family. Are we good? Rana said we're
Yes.
good. So then you went forward,
This
right?
one with us together.
Rana, I got to tell you, I meet a lot of people. I've interviewed a ton of women. This is one of my favorite experiences. You're a gem, right?
I'm so flattered.
You have a great husband and a great family, and I just absolutely, I love what we do. I do. I really do.
Yeah, I
Not gonna
hope
lie,
next
I love
other
it.
Wednesday too.
What a great interview, right? Guys, seriously, this just speaks to the opportunity that you have. By the way, guys, you threw great questions at us, so thank you for a great discussion. All of you guys are spectacular. You have such a great opportunity to get out of where you are, get on a plane and go put yourself in a room with people like this fabulous girl and find your girl and have your love story. We see it happening all the times. Honestly, we have a lot of guys going to the Philippines, and because the women in the Philippines are so open on age difference, a lot of marriages, which is great. In Ukraine, the women, again, they're okay with a certain level of age marriage. For a Ukrainian girl, if you're going to be older than her dad, that's going to be a little weird for her most of the time. Just not likely to do it. A lot of guys go to Ukraine and lose their mind when it comes to age difference. If they were more realistic, we would have way more marriages in Ukraine, and we have some marriages in Ukraine. We definitely do. But it's such a great opportunity for you guys with your eye on the Philippines. So I'm glad you're watching us. But this is not as good as it gets for you, right? You're going to get on a plane and you're going to go and meet somebody, and we'll continue to host these webcasts to give you a real good presentation of what that's about. So I'll let you get back to your husband, who's anxiously pacing. He wants his wife back, and I can't blame him. You guys are great. So thanks for the discussion
so
tonight.
much.
Rana, thank you very much. My
Yes,
great pleasure.
It's my pleasure too. I'd love to be here.
What a privilege. All right, guys, so 2 weeks from tonight, you'll be back, right? Rana will be
Yes.
back. Right, more questions. Do you have an email address that guys can reach you if they have questions?
Yes, I do have. Just to email me at afacebu.rona@gmail.com.
And that's RONNA.
Yes.
So AFA Cebu, CEBU dot Rana, RONNA at gmail.com. How about it, guys? Cool. It's always nice. Next show.
Yeah. Next show would be a topic with we'll have a video of John and Jolly from our Houston trip. I would love to have you and show you the love story of their love story. And it's so touching. Of course, John is one of our clients too, and one of my friend, and Jolly is my sister, not by blood but by heart.
Yeah.
So
It's a very sweet girl. I met them in Houston myself when I did a seminar there recently. So we'll see their story. We have a little video that we'll be able to show you that love story on Rana's next webcast 2 weeks from tonight, guys.
Yes.
All right, so mark your calendar for that. Cool, and I'll be back Monday night for those of you who have questions on the Ukraine, all right? Everybody have a great week between now and then, and thanks for listening tonight.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Mabuhay, Philippines and world.